Welcome to Stecker Studios. In this episode, we make a Calavera pinch pot. We're going to begin our Calavera pinch pot the same way we start any other pinch pot, by taking our block of clay and smacking it back and forth in our hands until it forms a ball. Now that we formed the ball, we're going to begin to open it up by taking our thumb and pushing it deep into the clay, making sure that we don't go through the other side. We want to leave about a thumb's thickness to a pinky's thickness on the bottom. Now we're going to slowly turn and rotate the clay little by little, pinching and pushing the bottom out and trying to make it nice and even. If you make small pinches and small turns, it tends to be a little bit more even. Slowly we're going to kind of work our way up the middle of the pot. Again, small pinches, small turns, pinching evenly up the sides of the pot. For this pinch pot skull, we're going to use the opening as the bottom, and the bottom of the pinch pot will actually be the top of our skull. As I work my way up the sides, I try to keep it somewhat narrow. Eventually I'm going to flare out the center and try to keep the opening end a little bit more tapered. Now I'm starting to try to round off my form a little bit by pushing out the center and trying to collar in the opening a little bit more so it starts to form more rounded. I'm actually going to squeeze and collar the opening. I'm pinching it together to try to round out the form a little bit more. I'm going to tap the opening on the bottom on the table just to kind of flatten it out a little bit, because that's where it's going to sit or rest, so I want it to be nice and flat and even. Now that I got my pinch pot nice and round, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of the imperfections and sponge down with a damp sponge some of the surface cracks before I start to put my details and start to form it more into our skull or calavera shape. I'm going to try to get a sense of the proportions for my skull, and for the bottom third I'm going to squeeze together a little bit to help form jawbones and cheekbones a little bit, so we can start to see that taking shape, just pushing in a little bit on the bottom third, pinching it a little together to form a jaw. Now to form the eyes, I'm going to put my thumbs about halfway from the top, or about a third of the way down, and start massaging my thumbs into the clay, pressing softly and working my fingers into the eye sockets to form little openings or sockets for the eyes. Now a little ways down from the eyes, I'm going to start to mark the nose. I'm using my fingers to press in under the nose a little bit to give me just a little indication of where the nose is going to go. And now I'm going to use a sharp tool to just gently outline an upside down heart shape for the opening of the nose. Once the clay gets a little bit more stiffer and reaches leather hard, I'm going to come back and actually carve out that nose with a knife tool and add some more details. And now I'm just going to take advantage of the fact that the clay is still a little soft, do a little bit more forming and adjusting, and then just clean this up a little bit before I let it dry to leather hard. In the next video, I'll come back and start adding more of my details to add teeth and other details to form my Calavera. That's it for now. Please check out the next video in order to see our finishing touches where we add our details. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing.